This is a Sony WM-D6C Walkman Professional, and this is the best sounding Walkman ever made. This model first came out in the mid-80s. It has very precise, high-quality audio. In fact, it's so good that it has better audio quality than many full-sized hi-fi cassette decks, and I'm going to fix it. Looking over this unit, we can see this one is pretty well used. There's some fading in some of the labels here. There's a bit of dust around the place, but otherwise it's in pretty good condition. Doesn't look like there's any real damage at all. It's missing a foot there. There's a screw missing here. I'll get a tape and we'll have a look and see what's going on. Okay, let's get this in and do a check. So I'll press play. And that didn't move. We'll just give that another try. No, that's stuck. Fast forward is okay. Reverse is okay. Play. It's having a bit of a problem. So I'm going to open it up and we'll see what's going on inside. So I've done a bit of reading about this deck, and it turns out this model was on sale from the mid-80s for about 10 years until the mid-90s. So if we look inside the cassette loading area, it's a little bit dusty, it's a little bit dirty, but nothing that can't be cleaned up. But notice the head here. I did a bit of research, and it turns out that the very first models of these decks used a really high quality amorphous head. While the later revisions still used high quality heads, they weren't quite as hard wearing as this particular version here. And you'll notice I'm poking around with a plastic tool. Never ever bring a magnetized screwdriver near a magnetic read-write head. If you go back and watch any of my earlier videos and you see me with a screwdriver too close to any read-write heads, then you know I'm doing it wrong. I will just check the serial number, and it is 49839. Okay, let's get this thing open. Taking the bottom off first, we'll remove the screws from around this bottom plate. Now that one's missing. It looks like that one's missing too. Yeah, there's one here as well. Okay, there we go. Let's get this up. Wow, there we go. Have a look at that. So a lot of these wires were probably soldered by hand. That is amazing. Okay, I want to see the mechanism, so we've got some more screws to take out. There's one there. So always look for those Sony double arrows because they point us in the right direction. Got to look for some more of them. I'm not really sure where they are, but I'll find them. I want to be really careful with these wires. If any of them come off, it's going to be a real headache working out where to put them back on. Oh, I see one. There's one there. Okay, we should be getting close now. Still feels like there's one on there. So that's all loose. It really feels like it's under here somewhere. Let's have a peek. Oh, there it is. It's hidden in all those wires. Let's get in there. Okay. Oh, how about that? It just lifts out. Nice. Okay. We're now in the unit. Let's have a look at that belt. Feels really loose. So you see the way that belt is moving around, it's really not very taut. I'll have to replace that. Okay, I found a belt that's probably close enough to work with this Walkman. It's not exact, but it will be enough to test the unit and make sure the rest is working. So I'm going to get that in. First I need to do a bit more disassembly of the mechanism. This should come out. I'm going to do a close-up of the mechanism. There's the worn belt, very loose, not very elastic anymore. And there's the flywheel and the drive motor and the rest of the mechanism. Okay. Partially out. Okay, I've got the belt off the flywheel, so I need to disconnect it from this section. If I push that out, then that gives me space to unhook from around here, like that. Okay. And then over this side, move it down out of the way. There we go. There's the old belt out, and I can get the new one in by reversing that process. That's actually pretty good. It's quite tight, maybe too tight, or maybe alright. Okay. Okay, now let's have a look. So there's where the other screw has to go. So in that position, okay, battery's in. Quick test. Looking good. Get a tape. Right. That actually seems not too bad. Certainly not slipping. Just going to do a quick listening test, and if this is successful I'll put it together and then do a proper demonstration so that you can hear it as well. Wow, that actually sounds pretty good. I might give it a bit of a clean and then do a recording test. Okay, I don't have any cotton buds, so I'll just have to make do with a rag on a stick. Got some isopropyl. Get it into play, and let's give this a bit of a clean up. Okay, the initial tests are pretty good, so I'm going to put a fresh set of batteries in. Let's get them in. Now for the record test, instead of using a normal bias tape, I'm going to start with a chrome. There we go. Just to make sure that it's recording. I have an audio source here going into line in. Okay, there's our input audio. Okay, just do a quick initial record test. Okay, the quick Chrome recording test went really well. That sounds amazing. For the final test, I'm going to record onto a metal Type 4. I don't have the original box for this, and it is second hand, but this Walkman deserves the best cassette, and this is it. So let's get it all ready. We're at the start of the tape. Type 4 metal bias cassette tape type selected, and I'm going to be recording this tape using Dolby B noise reduction. I can record Dolby C using this deck, however I want a Dolby B recorded tape so I can play back in other Walkmans, generally which only have Dolby B. So I've set the record level nice and high for a metal type cassette. I've queued up the music, we're all ready to go. So let's do it right now. Hit record. Let the leader tape run through a little bit. And let's play and go. Alright, we're on the way. Alright, I've been listening to the recording for a while and it's absolutely fantastic. The Chrome recording wasn't so good. There were some fairly big dropouts, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I may have to re-record, maybe with a different tape. But the metal recording was amazing. It sounds absolutely fantastic. I can hear some hiss when I turn the volume right up on a quiet section, just as I would expect, and I can hear little imperfections now again in the audio, maybe from slight dropouts or just the nature of all this analog equipment. The end result is I'm really pleased with how this sounds. So I've got my computer running Audacity, and I'm going to plug line out from the cassette deck into line in on the computer so that I can record some of the music and then we can have a listen to it together.